8 heads, 8 different species of wood. This started as a material study. I wanted to see how each species carved, where the grain fought back, and how much the wood itself could shape the final piece. So I made the same basic form 8 times, and each species argued with me differently. The first head was Chinese parasol, an invasive tree around here that grows fast and ends up being treated like yard waste more often than usable lumber. It is light, soft, and pretty even grained, which made it a good place to start this study. It let me focus on the basic shape and get a feel for the series without fighting the material too much. It was forgiving, which I did not fully appreciate at the time. Next was spalted maple. The dark lines are caused by fungi moving through the wood, leaving these strange patterns behind. It carved a little less predictably than the parasol, but the spalting gave it a character that I could have never designed myself. Sometimes the material shows up with half the work already done. The third head was cedar. It is soft, aromatic, and easy to carve, but that softness also makes it easy to accidentally take away too much. It taught me that a material can be cooperative without being harmless. The fourth head was black gum. It was easy to carve, and the interlocking grain gave it a really smooth, almost silky feel, but it did not hold crisp detail very well, so I had to keep the shapes broader and simpler. That trade-off ended up being the part that I liked about it. The fifth head was pecan. It is hard, dense, and a lot less forgiving than the softer woods I started with. This piece had beetle damage throughout, so I had to work around holes and weak spots hiding under the surface. It ended up better because of that. The next head was red oak. Red oak has a strong, open grain that likes to tear out if you cut against it. It forced me to pay closer attention to the grain direction and to support every cut. Not the easiest wood to carve, but it made me carve cleaner. The seventh head was white oak. White oak is dense, tough, and much tighter grained than red oak. It still demanded careful cuts, but it held detail better, and it felt more deliberate once I stopped trying to rush it. By this point, I was starting to understand that every wood has its own rules. The trick is figuring them out before it punishes you for guessing. The last head was poplar. Poplar is soft, plain, and usually treated like a practice wood. But it was a good reminder that simple material does not mean simple result. By then, I had enough practice to let the shape do the work. By the end of it, I had 8 different heads, 8 different materials, and a much better understanding of how little control I actually had. Every piece had its own limits, and every mistake forced a decision. You can force things, you can rush, you can ignore the cracks and weak spots, or you can slow down, work with what is in front of you, and let the material teach you what it needs. The wood doesn't care what you planned, it only cares whether you're willing to listen.